Hello, everybody, and welcome to the SmackDown roster tier list. So we're going to be going over every single person on the SmackDown roster. We have about 70 or so here that we're going to be going through. We're putting them in 6 different categories. We have Hall of Fame, Incredible, Good, Mid, Not Good, and a Sad Face. So we're going through every single person quickly. These renders might not be as up-to-date as they should be. I did just make this tier list a couple of days ago, so they're a bit out of date, and this is recorded on a Wednesday, so be aware of that going in. First up, we have AJ Styles, obviously going in the Hall of Fame, multi-time world champion, legend outside the business, duh. You have Akam. He's not very good as a member of AOP. I think they're a really boring group. They're not doing anything that interesting, not great at promos. Their NXT stuff was probably pretty good, but I don't really care because they're not very good now. Next up, we have Alba Fire, who's actually pretty good. I don't think she really gets her flowers. She has a really long NXT UK title reign, women's, I should say. From back in the day, it was about 640 days, but nobody acknowledges it because no one cares about NXT UK half the time. So, pretty good overall. She probably should be getting more TV time than she is. Next up, we have Angel Garza, who's going in the mid category. He's a pretty solid performer, no doubt, but again, not enough TV time for me to really put him any higher. Asuka inevitably is going in the Hall of Fame. Again, multi-time world champion, amazing in NXT, and especially in Japan, her home country, of course. Then we have Angelo Dawkins, a member of the Pride / the Street Profits. He's going in incredible for the moment as a member with Montez. They're both good together. They're great at promos, especially. And overall, I don't think he's in the Hall of Fame yet. Might need a couple more tag titles to get there. But overall, pretty solid. Next up, we have Ashante Via Adonis. I think he's okay. I don't really have that much of an opinion on him. He's not on TV almost ever. He's technically in a tag team with Cedric Alexander right now, who is over here, who I will put right next to him. And they're not really doing anything. They have little to no presence on the roster. I don't think they've even had a match together yet, but they did have a promo together. Mediocre, nothing much without Hit Row being present. Oh well. Next we have A-Town Down, screaming out loud, Austin Theory. I really like Theory. I don't know why, but I'm going to be putting him in good for now. I could argue seeing him in incredible, but he's really long U.S. champion. I think he's a 2 or 3-time U.S. champion, currently a SmackDown Tag Team champion, and overall, pretty solid guy, especially on promos where he really shines. Next up, we have B-Fab, a former member of Hit Row, as well as Ashante, and he'll be going in the same category as Ashante in the mid-tier. Nothing really that major that she's doing right now. She's a member of the Pride, but nothing is happening with her in singles matches, and she occasionally interferes in the Pride's matches. That's about all she does. Then we have Hey Bailey. Woo! Won't you be my girl? She's going in the Hall of Fame. That's inevitable. Current world champion right now. This isn't her world champion render that just came out, and I wasn't able to fix it because that would require me to reset the whole tier list. So overall, definitely going in the Hall of Fame. Multi-time world champion. Amazing in NXT. Always great on the promos. We like Bailey. Yes, we do. Next up, we have Berto. His former name is Humberto Carrillo, but now he is considered to be Berto on the WWE.com roster, which is what I'm going off of here. So I'm going to be putting him in mid. There's a lot of SmackDown's mid card that is in the mid tier because A, they don't do much, and B, they're mid because they don't get that much TV time. Oh, whoops, Bianca does not belong there. They're mid. They don't have that much going on with them. Nothing really is happening, period. So there's going to be a lot of people showing up there. Bianca, who I keep trying to move back over here, but my thing is lagging really bad right now, is going in the Hall of Fame. She's a Royal Rumble winner, multi-time world champion, obviously a big star right now, even just in a tag team with currently Jade Cargill, but inevitable Hall of Famer in the future. The same goes for Bobby Lashley, who was gone for the company from a while, but he was an ECW champion beforehand. I believe he won the IC or US titles a couple times within there somewhere. And overall, a really good dude. Braun Breaker is incredible. Again, I can't put him in the Hall of Fame because if he retired now, he's not going. So he needs to have that big main roster presence that we've started to see with all those squash matches lately, but he hasn't had anything major for me to be like, oh yeah, he's going to be a Hall of Famer in the future. Then we have Cameron Grimes. I don't even barely remember his name. He's a solid dude, but he doesn't get TV time. Carlito is going in the Hall of Fame. He's not the best wrestler in the world, but overall, he's a pretty solid dude. Again, basically the same thing as Bobby. Been around since 06, maybe a little bit before then, and been a decent guy all around ever since. Next, we have Kathy Kelly. She's an interviewer. She'll probably be going in the incredible, good. I'll put her in good for now. She does her job pretty well. Cool. Next up, we have Charlotte Flair. I think this one's undeniable that she's going to be going in the Hall of Fame following on her father's legacy. Nature Boy Ric Flair. Woo! She does that all the time as well. So, pretty good there. Then we have Corey Graves, a commentator. He's probably also going in the Hall of Fame, but I'll just put him in incredible for the moment. He's going in the Hall. But he would need some more commentary time because if he stops right now, he's not going in the Hall of Fame. And then we have Cruz del Toro, I believe this one is. He's going to be going in the good tier. He's a pretty solid performer. Nothing major from him, but overall, he wrestles pretty well. The same can be said for Dakota Kai and Dragon Lee. Then we have Elektra Lopez, pretty new on the SmackDown roster, I will say. However, I'm going to be putting her in mid for now. Not very good. We've seen a little bit of her, and the one match she had wasn't amazing. They messed up a couple moves. It was her and Zelina Vega, who is a little lower on this list, and not a great opening. Then we have Elton Prince, who's a member of the tag team Pretty Deadly. He is a pretty solid performer. We don't see that much of them right now. However, when they're on screen, they're pretty fun and entertaining. Waller is going in the good category as well. I could see both him and Theory moving to incredible. However, I think Waller, he's a great promo guy and will be a big heel star in the future, and maybe even a face star, because I could see how he cuts promos working to being a good guy. We have Isla Dawn, who I will be putting in the same category as her tag team partner, Alpha Fire. Again, more TV time, please, because they're pretty damn good. Then we have Io Sky, the current Women's World Champion. Editing me note, I said Io was current Women's World Champion. I'm still in pre-WrestleMania, apparently. But, yeah, former Women's World Champion. She's probably going in the Hall of Fame as well for her NXT title stuff. There's nothing insane that she's done yet, I think, on the main roster for people to be like, oh, wow, she's really good. She did the trash can jump at War Games. That was cool. She had the cash in. That was cool. But at the same time, I feel it would be better for there to be a few more world title runs in there now that she just lost the world title and all. And we have Jade Cargill. She's going in. I don't want to know. No, I'm not going to say incredible. I was going to say incredible or Hall of Fame already. But yes, she's insanely good. But she hasn't had that many matches yet. Because what I'm doing this on is, if this person retired today, for whatever reason, let's say they're like, oh, no, I'm burnt out of wrestling. I'm tired. I'm done. They retired. Boom. Gone. Where would they go? And I don't think Jade would be there. And if I'm being honest, I don't think Io would probably be in the Hall. But I'm kind of presuming she could, include NXT, include some of the out of WWE stuff, Hall of Fame. But Jade hasn't done that much in the company yet, only had a couple of squash matches, so mediocre. Next, we have Jimmy Uso, former member of the Bloodline, just got kicked out on last, I think, SmackDown. Pretty solid performer, not amazing as a solo star, but good enough. Joaquin Wilde will be going in the good category as well, a pretty good performer. Duh, he's in the good category. Then we have Kairi Sane. She'll be going in the good category. Carl Anderson in the mid tier because hasn't really done anything in forever. We'll put his tag team partner, Luke Gallows, and the female member of the OC, Michin, right next to him. Then we'll follow that up with Karrion Kross. A lot of people hate on Karrion Kross. I don't think he's that bad. He's not, good, but he's not the worst in the world. So I'm going to be putting him in good for the moment. He's not mid, bad. He's okay. He's a pretty solid in-ring performer, decent on the mic. Next, we have Kayla Braxton, a backstage interviewer. She'll also be going in the good tier. A lot of SmackDown's roster middles around the good to mid tiers. We don't see a lot on the top or bottoms of this list because just nobody really belongs there. Kevin will be going on the top half of this list in the Hall of Fame, inevitable for his NXT stuff, Universal Champion on the main roster, and all in all, a pretty funny dude. Kit will be going right next to Elton in the good category, and L.A. Knight, will be going in incredible. A lot of people don't think L.A. should belong here anymore. Like, oh, he's not as good as he was a while ago. But I don't agree with that. In fact, I think he's actually more popular now than he's ever been. Next up is Montez Ford, going right next to Angelo Dawkins in the incredible tier. And we have Mike Rome. He's an announcer. He'll be going in the good tier right next to Kayla. Naomi follows that up in the Hall of Fame, even though she hasn't been with the company for that long, mostly with TNA. You got some SmackDown World title runs in there, a couple of tag with Mercedes Moné, known as Sasha Banks in the WWE. Pretty solid overall. We have a set of 4 not actual wrestlers coming up with Nick Aldis in the incredible tier. Then we have Pat McAfee in the Hall of Fame because he's a celebrity and he's in the company, therefore Hall of Fame. We have Paul Ellering, who is already a Hall of Famer, so I think it's inevitable he might be in there. Then we have Paul Heyman, who's already in the Hall of Fame again, and now we're back to the in-ring performers. First up, we have Pete Dunne. Now, this was a bit of a weird one. Pete, I think he is quintessentially a very good wrestler, but he hasn't won enough yet. Is he going in the Hall? Once his career's over, probably. But he's going in incredible for the moment. I have to reiterate that because it is only for the moment. Next up is Randy Randall Keith, Randy Orton, Hall of Fame. Same with Rey Mysterio, who's already in. Razor is going right next to Akam in the not good tier, while Roman Reigns is going in the Hall of Fame. Santos Escobar is going in the good category because he's pretty solid. Scarlett in the mid category because we don't see much wrestling performance from her. She's mainly just at ringside helping out the Final Testament, I think that's their name. I don't really remember. They're not a good enough faction. Sheamus is obviously going to be a Hall of Famer. Shotzi is pretty good. She's been injured for a while now, so can't really commentate on her. But, even with that injury aside, pretty good performer. Solo Sikoa is going in the good category. A lot of people don't think he's that good, but lately he's the new head of the bloodline now or whatever. I think actually has worked pretty well for him. Tamina never gets on TV. I'm shocked she's even still on the roster. So I'm going to be putting her in the not good tier, while Tiffany Stratton is going in the good tier for her work on the Blue Brand. Tyler Bate is also going in good right next to her, while Zelina Vega is going to be going in mid because she doesn't really get that much TV time. She's not the greatest in ring, all in all. So this is actually a pretty good list for SmackDown. I don't think there's anybody who's really in that terrible category. There's nothing you can benefit from seeing. With even people like Elektra, AOP, and Tamina, I think you can technically still see some pretty decent matches out of them. Very occasionally, but still solid. The Hall of Fame is pretty stacked on the SmackDown roster. Some of them inevitable. Some of them I think that I might have a bit of a controversial take on. And then the incredible tier and not good tier are not very filled out. The bottom tier is obviously, as I said, empty, while mid and good have taken on most of the people in this category. So, what do you think of my list? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? Do you think Bobby Lashley is the worst wrestler you've ever seen? Do you think Razor is the best? No matter what, tell me your opinions down below. Make sure you have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, good dawn, good dusk, good whatever. Make sure to watch any former or future episodes of my channel, and goodbye.